Okay, this side is less broken out.
All right. So, peeps. Thank you. Thank you, Evan.
What an intro.
I got you.
What an intro indeed. So, to recap from last time, Elmelech and then Munched. After a short conversation with the lizard folk shaman and army at his back in the lizard folk lair, the group decided to leave the tunnels in order to rest up for their encounter with the young black dragon that Gaius snuck away to find. Upon attempting to leave, the group got lost and ended up spending a long and scream-filled night down in one of the larger tunnels. The very tunnel the group discovered that led into the young black dragon's lair. The group walked through a room that had a deep pond in the middle, had a pretty intense battle with the young black dragon known as Calmelech, then met a rather pompous and prideful spellcaster named Uraris, who ran in at the last minute and all but cursed the group for not being able to finish the job with Calmelech. Your wood elf druid was particularly unimpressed. She led the group out, but before the group made it out of the next room over, a giant crocodile emerged from the water and made a meal of your resident ranger. A valiant and surprisingly close effort was made to save the helpless Gaius at this point. Some dice rolls were fudged. But alas, Gaius perished.
He got home.
And the group emerged from the tunnel, one person fewer, and found their cart all hitched to go, all but hijacked by a deep gnome who for some reason was in league with Uraris. The extent of their relationship is yet unknown, but she asked this young Jasper to, I don't know about young, I should say small. This small sniffer Jasper joined the group and let her know if any further signs of Calmelech were found so that she could finish apparently what she started however long ago. The group saw a hooded figure with black smoke trailing around his ankles down the road that is the main road in Harveston. Noticed them, and they took off like bats out of hell. They transformed and jumped into carts and took off as quickly as they possibly could, headed towards unclaimed territory, back from which a couple of the travelers had come from. You made it out of the Calamy domain, and you found a grove of trees by the side of the road with hills and fields on the opposing side. You decided to take refuge in the grove, and your new companion pulled out some wire and a small glass marble, created a large orb for the group to sleep in, and an alarm in case of passers-by. So we find the group the cart hidden in the trees and somewhat camouflaged. And we find a somewhat camouflaged Leoman's tiny hut with the remaining 6 members of the wolf pack hunkering down for the night. Jasper, if you would please start us off with I'm going to say a nature check to see how well you can camouflage your Leoman's tiny hut.
It was good.
That was cocked.
That's good. Okay. Nature check 18.
18. Okay.
Smart fellow.
So, the group knows their scenario. What are you guys doing?
Well,
Oh,
you're up to sleep.
we're all inside, right?
That is my understanding, yes.
To be all set.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, you said little.
Where am I?
So it's got a
in relation
20-foot
to
radius,
Jasper?
so it's 40 feet on a side.
It has a 10-foot radius.
10-foot radius.
Oh, 20 feet on a side, but big enough for
I mean, it's
Six.
big enough.
6 medium
We have
humanoids.
2 half.
We have 3 small people, so I think we're fine.
We do.
Get a little tight, but
We're half and
we'll
half.
be all right.
I want to try picking Jasper's pockets.
Oh my god.
Naturally.
At least you're consistent.
Oh,
Am I a ball?
Yeah. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check. Jasper, I'm going to say make an active perception check, simply because you
Probably trusting
yes.
people
Yeah.
overtly at this point.
12.
15.
Okay. Tim, you said 12?
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed that. Yeah, as this other smallish fellow walks up to you and just stoops over and starts reaching down for your belt pouch.
Whoa, friend, watch what you're doing there. We're not exactly chums at this point.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just feeling the quality of your cloth. It's very fine. Where did you pick it up?
I got it on the side of the road off a dead guy.
Wow, it's amazing. Thank you.
Excellent.
Describe this dead guy.
He was,
Wow.
well, he was dead and clothed in red. That's about all I got. Hopefully this accent gets better. Because right now it's kind of shit.
Wow, I wish I could understand you, but it seems like you know what you're talking about.
Tim, you're kind of fading off in your sentences, by the way. That might be helpful.
Do we need to like keep watch or anything? I haven't been in one of these before.
Well, nothing can get in at us, but it might be a good idea to keep somebody watching so that we can wake up in the morning before it disappears.
Oh, I'll take first watch.
I'm sure you will, laddie.
A valiant display of selflessness. Good night. Melo's gonna go to sleep.
So are we doing watches?
I'll stay up with Pickles.
Yeah, I'll take watch. I'll have Mel with me.
I mean, you can probably do a watch on your own since we're totally protected. It's mostly just a...
No, I'm gonna wake up now.
Okay.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Always looking out for you now.
Slider looks down at you and goes, well, I guess that leaves us.
All right, lizard man. Keep me safe.
Keep me secret.
Keep it safe.
Keep it safe.
Well, your hide is not as tough as mine, so
You're damn right.
I'll watch out for you, small one.
I am like looking up at it.
What?
Yeah, you're about thigh high on this towering, basically walking crocodile.
How tall is Slider? 6'7".
I think he's larger than the average lizard folk, so pushing 6'6", 6'7".
Holy crap!
Yeah.
In the campaign.
Yes, he is.
We could maybe look. I don't know if you put these in.
Yeah, let's take a look if he does.
He didn't.
Have that.
What the hey, Mike? What the hey?
Go figure you it.
Where is Mike?
Doing
Oh,
homework.
college.
Ew.
What is
What?
where?
What a
President
loser.
Slider is absent tonight.
Something about graduating?
Over it.
I like to graduate.
What's up? Who like graduating?
All right, bring it back. So, as Melandris lays down, Eliza enters her trance. Slider finds as distant a side as he thinks he can in this small room. And Jasper warily looks around before deciding, well, I don't really have a choice at this point.
I'm not gonna sit up all night.
Lays down, and the rest of you go to sleep. Bree and Pickles. Perception check, please.
Crit.
You crit.
Yep.
Nice work. 22.
Yeah, Jesus is right.
I rolled a 19. So
I think we're fine.
Oh, 19 and a 20. Nice. Nice.
nothing's getting past us.
Yeah. You start to hear the clopping of hoofbeats coming down towards you. You guys are probably a good 100 feet off of the road. And the hoof prints grow louder and louder and are uncomfortably the only thing you notice, even in this cricket and owl-filled night. The hoof prints get very close, at least by your best guess on the road. And you kind of peer out and you see two figures atop their steeds. Both figures are clad in difficult to make out, being as it's nighttime, but dark colored robes with light colored, essentially filigree, but it isn't gold. It's just, that style of design. They jump off their horses and kind of look around for a bit. For a moment, it looks like these two figures are looking immediately through the trees at your tiny hut. What are the two of you doing, if anything?
I'm going to turn to Pickles and just put my finger up to my lips.
Now, as a reminder, neither Bree nor Pickles have seen anyone like this appearance. You were at Harveston.
It's really low.
You were at Harveston on your separate errands with your separate business. You met some people. You raided some caves. You went back to the town, and everybody you were with, well, half the people you were with, freaked out and ran away as fast as they possibly could. You two are now alone awake, keeping watch at night.
We heard them mention the Colosseum. Obviously, wouldn't know what it was.
That's correct.
but we heard the word.
Bree, go ahead and make a history check for me.
Tiny hut muffles sound, correct?
It does not.
Does not.
Oh my god.
Just opaque.
Natural one.
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
terrible.
Definitely never ever heard of anything like this.
I've never heard of anything.
I've never heard of any coliseums. I don't know what that
I
is.
don't know what that word means. Is it a plant?
Wood.
I want to creep out the back of the tiny hut and stealth.
I don't think there's a back.
You're going out of the tiny hut and
Oh,
stealth.
On the other side so they can't see me.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
It's not smart.
No, it's not.
An interesting choice. It might not be a wise choice.
15.
15. Okay. You sneak around outside the hut and kind of work your way towards the trees. You're small, and the moon is out, and it's full and very bright tonight. However, the trees of this grove are dense, and the large majority of the forest floor that you're walking on is covered in shadow. Nevertheless, these two hooded figures that have stepped down from their horses were kind of walking in the general direction of the hut and stop. And as you kind of peer between two very, very close growing trees, you see them look right through the trees at you. Hear this? Who goes there?
You're gonna die.
Come on out.
Are they saying this loud? Could they potentially wake people up?
I assume I'm watching this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No one is necessarily awake or like catching wind of this. They're not screaming it. They're just calling with enough volume to speak to the guy in the trees, 30 feet away or so.
We're pretty heavy sleepers.
I'm going to use minor illusion and make it so that my voice comes from a different direction.
Okay.
30 feet, 30 feet away from the tiny hut.
Sure.
And I'll say in the same voice that he just spoke to me, who goes there?
That's a neat trick you got there. But we see you right there. Why don't you come on out? Have a little conversation.
Minor illusion does the same thing. He says the same thing.
Or we could come to you. It's up to you, Mike.
Minor illusion. That's a bad idea.
And why will that be a poor choice?
And then minor illusion. Because I'll stomp you. Intimidation.
So they have already seen through the fact that this is a minor illusion. And that's why they are not fazed by the throne voice. So they look in the direction of this voice. They just go, oh no, I don't know. And then they turn in your direction and fire erupts from their hands. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh god. I'm gonna wake everyone up now.
If the forest fire does it.
16.
16. Alrighty. Let me pull up their spells. Mm-hmm. 16, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
Would this blast of light wake everyone up?
I'm waking everyone up if it doesn't.
Okay.
With a 16, that unfortunately fails.
I was gonna say, I think this is a lot better than that.
And you take 13 points of fire damage. As fire just erupts in a line between the trees towards you, and both of these other trunks just go up in blazes. The one who cast the spell speaks this time. You might as well come out. Your cover's going to be gone soon.
I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery. And what will I say?
I was thinking of casting Feeble Mind, but I doubt it would work on you.
Okay.
They have disadvantage on their next throw against me.
Okay.
And the DC is 15. Otherwise, they take 1d4
Okay.
psychic damage.
That is a 17.
Okay.
They are still hurt by your words, but
The one,
not psychically.
a little bit. The one who was speaking before turns to you and says, "Is this something you really want to do? Or do you want to come out and have a little chat?"
How far are they from their horses?
10 feet at most.
I'm going to try to run for it.
Okay.
Run away, not towards their horses.
Okay. You're just sprinting?
Yep. Stealthily, if I can. Because they can only see a splinter of me, right?
So you can either move slowly and try and stealth, or you can sprint. There is no fast stealthing. In fact, usually stealthing cuts your movement about in half.
Okay.
It's not quite half, but it's about half.
I'm going to try stealth then.
Okay. Make a stealth.
That's a 27.
Okay.
Got him.
You hear a... Yeah, it probably wasn't worth it anyway. Oh no, but we're basically supposed to... It's beyond... Whatever. We're getting out of here. Let's keep going, looking for the rest. And they head back to their horses, climb on, and clomp away. Opposite the direction they came from, away from the Calumny domain.
Can I follow them?
You're moving stealthily, which is approximately 15 feet every 6 seconds for you. They are moving at 100 feet every 6 seconds. So you can follow them for like a minute, and then they'd be out of sight.
It's also
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's not television.
Then I'm not going to bother.
Is the forest on fire?
The 2 trees have completely been incinerated, but the fire, oddly enough, has not spread to anything else. And the trunks have basically withered to a rotted appearance, much more than charred.
Did I notice anything about them when I was having this interaction?
Make a perception check with disadvantage.
Not good. That would be a 5.
Unfortunately, not. No.
Okay.
It's very dark. They were wearing hooded cloaks that were also very dark in color. There were lines of arcane sigils or arcane script on their cloaks, but their clothing was dark otherwise, and there were no noticeable features about either of these two. You couldn't even tell what race they were.
Okay. Can I see where the hut is, or is it invisible to me?
Make a perception check, as it is very dark.
That's a 5.
You, my friend, are lost. And with a 27, no one has any idea where you are.
Not even me?
Nope. Well, okay. Make a perception check as you're watching him and this interaction.
She can't.
I can't. That's impossible.
She literally can't get 27.
If
Yeah.
you roll a natural 20, I'll give it to you.
I did not.
Yeah, Pickles, you are lost. You're still in the Grove. It's, the Grove has very obvious boundaries. And this road, it's not really even a road. It's more of a dirt path that's been heavily traveled. So grass just doesn't grow on it anymore. And a lot of the large stones, medium-sized stones that were on the road have basically been ground down into a, beginnings of a cobblestone path. But you are shelterless and no one knows where you are. You're pretty confident in how well you stealthed away.
Okay. Yeah, I lost them.
Did we get woken up?
I had said I was waking you guys up, so I assume by now you would.
Yeah.
be.
That's a good point. So the other 4 of you, you would have witnessed a bright light, trees on fire, obscuring your view of whatever else there might be going on beyond the trees. A small figure moving in the dark, and then hoofprints or hoofbeats. And that's about it.
I would have told them that it was Pickles out there.
What?
Out where? With who?
I don't know. He went out to, I think, go see some people who were out there.
Who are these people? What do they look like?
They were on horses, and they had these really fancy sort of patterns on their cloaks, and I think that's all I saw.
What color were their cloaks?
Jordan, did I see what color their cloaks were?
Because it is dark out and there's dim light, the exact color of their cloaks was not visible.
They looked pretty black to me, but I think it's just because it's so dark outside.
Well, look at Mel and Slider with kind of like the fear of, I think they found us.
Well, if they found us, we wouldn't be here still.
This is true.
I think our little buddy did something really stupid and brave. I don't know if that was on purpose, but I think he did distract him a little bit. Are they chasing him, or?
I can't find him. I don't know where he went.
Why did he leave the hut?
Tim.
He knows he can't get back in, right?
I don't know that he does. I don't know that he's ever experienced this before.
Well,
Also,
I'm sure
I don't
he'll turn
see
up.
him.
I'm sure he'll turn up.
Are
It'll
you
be fine.
Are you sure?
I'm so sure that I am gonna go right on back to sleep.
Do I believe how sure he is?
Well,
He does go
seeing
right
as the
back to
camera switches over to Pickles who's being grabbed by a large entity and carried off. He's probably not very sure.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. Make an insight check, Bree.
21.
Okay. Melandris really just wants to go back to sleep. He's a generally nice person, but at the moment, sleep is his major care in the world. So
He also doesn't really care about Pickles very much.
definitely just pacifying you for sure.
I'm going to say really loudly in hopes that it will ensure that he is not sleeping. I need to find my brother. We need to make sure he's okay.
How about the elf who can see go look around?
Pickles, make a perception check with disadvantage.
Only one person who can see.
Can you turn into an animal and sniff him out?
No,
Oh.
I would, but I cannot.
19.
Couldn't.
You hear your sister's voice. Really, that was with disadvantage in 19.
Yeah, there's a 16 and a 17.
Nice rolling.
Wow.
Yeah, you hear your sister's voice ring out from the grove to your left. And you kind of wander back and you hear her voice just kind of perpetually going, I need to find my brother. This is not the time to sleep. What are you guys doing? He's out there by himself. And after 10, 15, 30 seconds of this following your sister's voice, you see an outline that doesn't quite match the color of the grove, the ambiance of the area, and you manage to find this pretty well hidden colored orb from which you emerged a couple minutes before.
As I see the orb, I think to myself, man, whoever cast this thing had no idea what they were doing. This obviously doesn't fit into the background. My goodness.
Can we see him now, or are you still stealthed?
No, he is no longer stealthed. And even if he were, I mean, he's in very plain view of this hut. So,
By the way, I made the light get a little bit brighter inside the dome when we woke up. So it's like this lighting in the dome right now.
I just like to walk in a straight line towards Bree's voice.
all right.
I found him.
Where?
He's right there. You can throw it. You can throw his. Here, hold on. I'm gonna grab all of his stuff and throw it out.
I'm going to try and stop him.
You are very short.
I know.
You are a monk, though.
Melandris, I'm going to have you make an athletics check with advantage because we would not have expected this. Athletics to try and stop.
15.
It was very dark and stormy.
Is it really thundering right now?
Yeah.
You're right.
Is it raining by you guys?
Yeah, it is. I'm so
That's-
excited.
Nice.
Thunderstorm ending in 38 minutes. We just had a freak thunderstorm.
All right, bring it back.
It's freaking 60 degrees out here.
Bree.
What?
Sorry, athletics check to try and stop him.
Can it be acrobatics?
Unfortunately, this is not an acrobatics thing to try and jump and catch everything.
Shucks. Also a 15.
Okay. Well, Melandris was the DC to beat. So
Shoot.
as Melandris kind of underhand, like, swings out the bag, you just kind of jump in the way and you have all of Pickles' stuff in your arm. Pickles, you can't really tell what's going on, but as you're within, a good 10 feet of this hut now, you hear this conversation between, he's right there. Ugh!
I'm going to throw a rock in that direction to see if I can narrow down where they are. Like a little rock.
You know exactly where the orb is at this point. You have found it.
can probably see me flying out of it.
I'm gonna throw a rock anyways.
Okay.
Please don't hit me.
You guys hear a as this rock kind of lands on the dome and then just kind of bounces down one of its sides.
He's throwing things at us.
Retaliate.
Pickles. Pickles.
You hear your sister say,
Okay, I guess I'll just walk in.
okay.
Wait, you just walked in the dome? Oh, okay.
Bree, I just had the most amazing time ever.
Yeah,
There was these two guys.
I watched
and we were
you.
fighting back and back and back, and I killed them.
No, Pickles, I saw what happened. I was watching you the whole time. That was really not a smart idea. You went out by yourself.
But I got all kinds of information.
Really? What did you get?
Well, I think that they were spellcasters of some sort,
You think?
and they had horses.
Did you see that fire just come out of their hands? That gave you the clue?
It came out of their hands. Oh my gosh! Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. They had horses. I think that they were dudes from Australia.
Answer whatever you want to do it. I'm comfy and I'm not in the conversation anymore.
Okay. Easy enough to do.
Pickles, I think they're throwing us out.
Who?
You know, the people in the hut. They threw out your stuff. I tried to stop
Oh.
them, but I came with it, so feels a little bit like they're throwing us out.
Oh no, you're welcome to come back in. We can fit 10 in here easy.
It's interesting.
The new one seems to be the only one who likes us.
There's
He's
a
small enough.
there's a dull glow in the hut that kind of strobe lights every time you hear this soft, friendly voice. Oh no, you guys are welcome anytime. It's not super bright and it's not super noticeable. And you can only see it from the outside. But yeah, anytime you hear this
From
friendly
Irish
voice,
to
there's an internal dim light that strobes to match the cadence of the speech.
Well, thank you, good sir.
Wait, Pickles, your stuff.
Sandstrom dome goes nuts.
I guess I...
Thank you.
Eventually, Jasper, Melandris, Eliza, and Slider fall back asleep. And Pickles and Bree stay awake through the rest of the night. Through the rest of their watch,
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, no.
without consequence. Unless there's anything you would like to do, it's time to awaken Melandris and Eliza.
I'm gonna go wake up Eliza.
Shake your shoulder. Now look up.
Why?
Because you're going to do the watch with me.
I can't see anything.
You're fine. Get up.
You don't need as much sleep as I do.
Get up. I'm still short of sleep.
I don't even know if what you do can be considered sleep.
Shit.
I'm getting up. I'm just slow.
I've seen you run. You're not slow.
Well, that was usually with some sort of motivation.
All right, Melandris, perception check with disadvantage. But I forgot to make the two halflings do that. Eliza, perception check.
Only got to roll once, buddy.
Excellent.
So am I just rolling?
Perception check, yep.
Why does he have disadvantage?
Because he's a human
Does not have
and there's no light.
Ooh, 15.
My passive is 17, though.
I'd also like to say my passive is 17.
If so, for everybody, sneak it up.
If they're doing the sneaks.
Passive abilities bother me.
My passive investigation is 18, if that makes you feel any better.
Passive insight. If anybody's trying to lie to me nonchalantly, also. 17, yeah.
It's trying to lie without making it look like it.
The first portion of your watch is quiet, goes off without a hitch. There's an owl who doesn't seem to want to be quiet. There are a few vocal crickets and a breeze that plays through the leaves and the trees a bit.
All the beauty of nature. And so many people that want to kill us.
What else,
We
Jordan?
die.
That's it for the moment.
The moment.
All right, let's wake up Slider and the new guy.
Oh, no, your watch is not over yet.
I wouldn't see it coming.
Eventually you hear a as the ground starts to kind of shake a little bit under you. There's something very large headed in your direction.
Okay. What does it look like?
Probably nothing.
The trees begin to shake, and even a few leaves are dropped as this
Does this help camouflage the dome a little bit?
gets closer. Unfortunately not, no. The dome is pretty smooth, and any leaves that probably would have fallen exactly that would have fell onto it would just kind of drift away in the light breeze. Eventually, you see a figure, large, humanoid, mostly unclothed, and dragging a very, very large club
Did it ogre?
on the ground behind him. Or them. You can only see the figure from the side. And the figure's head kind of looks up and
Which one of you guys is an Englishman?
and you hear another voice that goes, I can't smell anything. No, it's over here. And it kind of turns and in your direction. And as it turns, you see a very broad, heavy set yet muscular humanoid. This creature is probably 15 feet high, and you see that it has two heads. One head has long hair and two tusks, one of which is chipped. Both of these heads have very full, very long, very tangled beards, almost like dreadlocks coming off of their chins. The other head, the one that you couldn't see talking, is bald with no tusks, but has a few circular lines of paint adorning its face. This creature is wearing nothing but a loincloth and wielding nothing but a club. Both of you go ahead and make a nature check for me.
18.
It's a good old 11 plus 0.
You've heard of these giants before, Eliza. Their name escapes you. No, wait. Eatons, maybe? Not that important. You know that these entities have 2 separate brains, but are all the dumber for it. You know that they hunt and eat other toids or deer or birds or fish, pretty much anything that these beasts can catch and cook up. And they are approaching your dome, sniffing at the air. The one voice goes, I think we're getting close. Yeah, but I can't smell anything, and I'm getting really hungry. Fine, we'll look elsewhere. And it kind of turns and it hesitates and looks up and behind itself. Are either of you doing anything?
I'm watching.
I'm gonna go over to our new friend Jasper and sort of nudge him a little bit. Hey, if somebody swung a club at this thing, like a really big club, would it break?
I mean, it's not something I like to try because I got to be in it, but it should be fine.
All right, good to know. And that's it.
Shh. As Eliza turns towards the 2 of you and gives off a sharp shh,
It was quiet.
the
Ugh.
stops. The figure turns around and starts to walk in your direction.
It wasn't supposed to be loud, Jordan. You suck.
The dice is This figure walks right up. It's almost at the point where you, who's on the close end, can see up that nasty loincloth. But fortunately, it's not quite that.
Preemptively.
Its knees are all but pressed up against this tiny hut. The figure. I heard something. Yeah, I heard it too. And it starts to look around and it stoops down to pick up a large rock. And it looks around. Is anyone doing anything?
Is anyone else awake?
Just Jasper, who's a little groggy, Eliza, and Melandris.
I mean, the hut shouldn't break. No, nothing else can enter it. So
I can't cast out of it, so
Is anyone doing anything?
I don't have any spells. There's nothing I could do.
Really
This
do.
entity pulls its arm back
Oh, pardon
with
that.
this giant boulder resting in the palm of its hand.
Hang on. I'm going to cast. Oh, that was cool.
I heard that.
In the speakers. Entangle. As far away as I can.
fizzles.
Oh, can you not cast out?
Can't cast out.
Not unless you put your hand out.
Then there's nothing we can do.
Spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. But the atmosphere inside is comfortable and dry regardless of the weather outside.
Always
Make a stealth check, because there is a verbal component to this spell. Make a stealth check to see how quietly you can cast it.
I'm not going to cast it if I can't. I can't.
You
cast
wouldn't
it.
know that. You've never been in this hut before. You attempt to cast the spell.
Eight.
Basement light is on. Okay.
This creature,
It's thunderstorming.
That's
this
not crazy.
creature raises its arm back with the large boulder, and it brings it down and slams it against. Nice.
Sorry.
Woof goes the tension.
Goes the
Tension
of the tent.
of the moment. The
Oh.
rock is down harmlessly on the ground, a distance away from this area, and you guys hear a yelp. The rock is pulled out of the way. The entity bends over, grabs some poor four-legged beast off of the ground, slings it over its shoulder, turns its back to the tent, to the hut, and walks off into the night.
That must have woken somebody up.
No pickles, you're still sleeping.
Yep. The
I don't
three
believe it.
still asleep start awake to a large boulder being slammed into the ground and a braying wooded creature of some kind being slain and carried off for a meal. The rest of your watch passes without much activity. And eventually, it's time for the next watch, as the moon has almost set over the distant mountain range.
You're a blizzard.
I heard you're a blizzard.
That's what I
Not-
said.
You're a blizzard. Okay, and I'll wake up Jasper again.
You guys ever let anyone sleep?
Evidently not.
Really let us sleep.
Fair enough.
If you were looking for a peaceful trip, you took the wrong road.
I guess I did. Although
It's never dull, though.
it wasn't very peaceful with your Aris either.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me.
All right, Jasper, give me a perception check.
Hey.
22.
Nice.
Nice. Not
16 from Slider.
bad. With disadvantage?
Mm-hmm. It's got a +6.
Rolling like the heart of a champion.
Mm-hmm. Except for the occasional owl that swoops down and grabs the about to wake up mouse, the squirrels that wake up and get an early morning start in their foraging, and the occasional cricket deciding it's time to go to bed. Your watch passes without incident. The sunlight peaks over the mountains to your northwest, mostly west, a little bit north, shedding light across this grove and bringing with it the next morning. All of you are fully rested.
Finally.
Click one rest button, but I don't.
My spells.
Right. The wild
Spells are
shapes.
back. Wild shapes are back. Health is back. Pickles and Melandris, you both still have a point of sickness.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Everyone else's sickness is gone.
One doesn't do anything.
Let's see. Elf got a strong constitution.
So, as you guys awaken, how long does this hut last, by the way?
8 hours.
8 hours? Okay. The hut fades, and the light gets instantaneously noticeably brighter. You are all laying down in basically a large grove, a mini forest, whatever you want to call it, just on the outskirts of this heavily traveled path with rolling hills and open fields full of flowers and tall grass to your south.
How absolutely idyllic.
To your left, along the path, heads back into the Calamy domain. Behind you, to your north, just gonna pull up my map. Lies the far end of the Calamy mountain range,
A daycare.
arrogantly named after the domain to its south. And to the west, the path leads off to the chasm. The name for no man's land in the unclaimed territory between the northern stretch of the Spine Peak mountain range and its southern stretch down towards the south. The day is yours. What are you doing?
Did you hear me? It's a
No.
day.
Okay,
It
thanks.
expires after a long rest. Right.
Bummer.
Bardic inspiration.
That's correct. Anyone with any kind of inspiration that had not used it previously, it has expended.
Okay.
Well, does anybody have any opinion on where we should be going? Any relations nearby?
Those two guys that I courageously fought last night, they went off in that direction.
And what direction is that?
Eat and go. What direction did you see them head off?
Do I remember which way they went? Do I even remember where I am?
Well, I asked Bree which way they went since she was watching the situation.
Bree would not have seen them because of the obscurity of the light and the fire. No, Pickles, you're not entirely sure which way they went. You turned and ran, noticed that they weren't following you, thought maybe you might want to follow them, got lost, and eventually found your way back due to your sister's voice.
It was a full night. They were on the path, so we might be able to figure out where the baddies went based on the path tracks.
Well, wherever they went, we need to go the opposite direction.
It seemed like they wanted to find us, so maybe we should find them first.
No.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Avoid them.
I mean, personally, rolling hills and fields of flowers. I mean, that sounds pretty nice. I can't imagine some sort of terrible horrors lurking there.
You think an innocent Colosseum would just be as majestic?
Yeah, well, I mean, I can guarantee there's going to be way less crocodiles. I mean, it doesn't really matter where we go. These fellas seem to be able to teleport. Either that or they have so many agents everywhere that doesn't make any sense. So we can kind of just choose, I think.
Just Slider think of all this.
Slider defers to the group.
Stupid.
Nobody's got any. There's no leads. Nobody's friends or family are around.
Anyone?
Jasper, where was Uraris taking you? Where's she going?
Well, we were kind of going after the dragon, and that kind of got boggled up. So at this point, I'm kind of just with you folks, so she can find you later.
I hope to never see her again.
Oh, she's not that bad.
By the way, I know that
differ.
you know Uraris' secret. Jasper does not. Just as a point of clarification.
Which direction was the one with the hills?
South.
I mean, I vote. I'm just gonna take a south if nobody really cares, I guess. At least we'll die with some nice weather.
No different whatever.
I like the way you think.
South it is.
All right. So the group packs their things. You chose Holy.
That's not funny, Jordan.
It's a little funny.
That's not even remotely funny. Wipe that smirk off your face.
What about these tracks? What about these ogre tracks? Which direction do they go?
Make an investigation check.
That would be... that'd be 21.
21. There are a lot of large footprint tracks. None of them are particularly more fresh than any others. Some go south, some go west, some go east. Very few are found in the grove itself. But it looks like the freshest go kind of southeast-ish.
Guys, this seems like a crossroads for massive people, so I think that we should just get out of here.
That's why we're packing, little guy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
As Melandris rolls up, well, more bunches up. Someone else is caught. Tosses it into the wagon and hitches up the animals. The grove has been cleared of your belongings. The horses have been guided back onto the main pathway and pointed south. And the group climbs in as Eliza and Melandris take the front left reins.
Yeah.
And southward, the wagon goes. As you leave this heavily trodden patch of dirt and earth, it becomes quickly apparent that the horses and cart are not particularly designed for this type of terrain. The hills are uneven and steep and constant. You cross the field to the first hill, and from a distance, it seemed a lot less steep. But now that you guys are walking up it, those of you that are sitting in the back of the cart feel a very real risk that you might fall out backwards at any moment. And there's a time or two when a wagon wheel boom, just bumps over one of the rocks jutting out of the grass on the hill there, and a couple of you almost do fall out. Melandris and Eliza, as you two are in front, I just assume that since one of you two normally grabs the reins. You realize that traveling through this terrain, at least with a horse and cart, is going to not be good at all. When you come over this particular hill, the cart is going to start going much faster than the horses and will likely topple. And even if that weren't the case, traveling up hills with these horses, it's just going to put a very, very severe strain on them. And
Nobody
legs
has
or
vehicles.
exhausted beasts of burden are the likely result. Sorry, Mel?
Nobody has proficiency with vehicles.
Unfortunately, I bypassed that.
Yeah, no.
Because nobody's ever taken it.
Gaia has it.
Gaia has, proficiency with any land vehicle. But she is not here.
So, if you continue this way, there will be a series of skill checks. And depending on those skill checks, there may be different consequences. But this realization hits you as you're climbing the first rolling hill.
I mean, carts go up hills, and they go down hills. I don't know how else anybody around here travels. There's a path.
What?
I vote for just keeping on going.
What is the... I did kind of railroad you into this, but what is the party-chosen marching order? Who is doing what?
I'm at the reins
All right.
because I can talk to them.
All right.
Yeah, check and see what the horses are feeling.
Hey, Mr. Ed. And Mr. Ed, too. What do you think? These hills, they're a little rough.
Their braying in response to the question is one of nervousness and unease. But being trained to do what they do, as you do, they're not yet going to try and pull away from the wagon or each other in an attempt to save themselves at this time. But you do sense a rising sense of worry and or panic.
I mean, it ain't raining. The weather's fine. Oh, hold on. I'm going to cast Druidcraft.
Okay.
I'm going to see what the weather's going to be like for the next 24 hours.
Okay. You see a small orb of light turn gray and kind of evaporate outward from your hand. And you kind of tilt your hand over, and a small amount of water just kind of drips out of your palm and onto the seat beside you.
Weather's not going to hold out all that long. We can either take the cart off, take some turns, probably just riding the horses, and just have them carry your stuff, or we can just kind of go low and slow with the wagon. I think those are really our only options.
I mean, there is always actually walking.
I mean, we're not just going to leave the horses. They can walk down without the cart.
That's true.
I've never ridden in a wagon, to tell you the truth. I mean, very rarely, and I find that it attracts a lot of attention. Maybe it'd be better to just take the horses.
Depends on how much stuff we got. Depends on if our DM wants us to worry about encumbrance.
At the moment, you don't have enough stuff to...
I don't have barely anything.
That's true.
I'm not concerned about it. I also don't have food, so at some point today we're probably gonna have to try to get some food.
So what is
Are
the group deciding to do?
Any votes?
My vote's for walking, and I jump out and start walking.
Okay.
All right, we have one small vote for walking.
Probably ditch the cart and just take the horses.
I mean, in a pinch, we can't have four horses. So there would 4 horses and less than 4 people to ride on the horses. So we could move pretty quick if we needed to.
Well, we got two.
At this point, you are cresting
two
the
halflings and
top of this first
When we got to the top, I
holy
just
uneven.
stopped.
Gotcha. Okay.
Can you still hear me?
Are you walking down the hill?
Yep, walking down the hill.
4.5.
Jasper, Bree, any opinions?
I agree. Let's just ditch the cart. Take the horses.
How many horses are there? 4?
Just 2.
Oh, just 2.
Let's draw straws to see who goes first.
Would you say Pete and Pete 2 or something? Ed
Mr. Ed.
and Ed 2.
Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ed.
You can talk. All right. Is there enough room up there to like does it have an actual top over the hill that's like,
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go off the path a bit and unhitch them.
Okay. So to be clear,
They have saddles, so
there is no path except the footprints that you left in the the hoof prints and wagon marks that you left in the tall grass on your way up the hill. The only path is what was beaten down that ran east and west to the south of the grove that you guys were in. You
Okay.
guys completely left any path at all to head into this hilly wilderness.
perfect. We're just ditching the wagon. Gonna load up however many saddlebags or an equivalence.
Okay.
And we don't have saddles, unless we did, but I don't think we do.
Okay.
So I don't know. How good of a horseback rider is anybody here? Now I realized that 3 of them are so small that they cannot really ride the horse, and 1 is a giant lizard. So it's pretty much just me and Eliza.
Oh, shucks.
We can put the kids on the horse. And I'm gonna pick up Bree and put her on the horse.
Excuse me?
As Melandris walks up to you, we can stick the kids on the horse and reaches to grab you. Are you reacting?
You know what? At this point, I'm just gonna let it happen.
And
But I'm gonna see if I can swipe Jemima from him while on the way up.
No, gosh, don't remind him.
Yes,
oh,
I was
have
wondering where she was this whole time.
I have not forgotten. Yeah, Jemima is still a gecko on your arm. Jemima has been sleeping as a gecko stuck to your shoulder for.
My shoulder?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, you took her.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, you've had her since before Kelmalek.
Oh, good. Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna give her a little pat on the head then.
Do I get to go on the horse, Mister?
You were walking.
Well,
I'm just gonna start
things
leading
change.
the horse down the path.
Things change. Fine.
And I tell the other one to follow.
okay. Yeah, Eliza has climbed up onto the other horse. Now, these horses don't have saddles because they were hitched. They were not bridled. So it's a little tricky to stay on, Bree. Just make a general acrobatics check just to see how well you can stay on this horse. Eliza, I will need one from you as well.
Am I making a check?
And Melandris, you're just leading the horses. Yes, you're not riding either of them.
Yeah, I'm just
Acrobatics, please.
10, Jordan.
Okay.
Ooh.
21.
Yeah, 10's all you needed. Yeah, it's not comfortable, and you definitely have to keep readjusting yourself. And there are a couple of times when you've never really done this kind of thing before, so you grip its mane to kind of help, right yourself a little bit, and it shakes its head back a few times and kind of whips close to your face with its mane. You're not sure if you heard it or if it was uncomfortable or if it just coincidental timing. But other than this kind of annoying, you got to keep righting yourself. Yeah, it's easy enough to stay on.
You're fine up there. They're not really riding horses, so they're not that used to it.
Eventually, the group comes down one of the main hills, and there must have been this odd, just kind of placement the way you guys came down this hill. You saw rolling hills for quite a distance, and after going through a few of these hills, you come to this cliff face of sorts. It's not particularly high, but it is in your immediate path, and it's complete stone. At this point, you can follow the stone to the right, or it kind of corners off 30 feet to your left, and you can continue kind of up the hill, back down it, and then follow the easiest path that these hills could possibly give you, as you kind of round the other side of this mountainous face.
I mean, I'm just gonna walk around at the corner.
Okay.
That's where I'm gonna start. If anybody has objections, they can raise them.
Melandra says, you're in front. Make a perception check for me.
Gonna do not confetti. Should have done confetti. Oh, it's not too bad. That's a 16.
Okay.
One under my passive.
Yeah, you lead the group around the mountain face to the left. And as you kind of crest down the final hill before you reach the corner of this cliff face, you've reached a flatland.
I love flatland.
It's just a field that stretches as far as the eye can see, to the south and to the east. To the west, it goes back to the hilly terrain, and to the north, that's where you just came from. So,
how far do you think we can see? I mean, I'm shorter, so I can't see as far, but
yeah, miles. You can actually see the southern, well, more like the southwestern face or faces of the string of mountains that are on the southern side of this uncontrollable area called the chasm.
is there any cover?
No, it's just open field for miles.
Does anybody know about the area and whether or not there's any sort of civilization anywhere nearby?
Bree, you would know.
I kind of wonder.
Several hours behind you, and then a couple days journey into the mountain range is where you're from.
Mhm.
Whether or not that would be called civilization is kind of left up to personal interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
But because you are the person that would be closest to this area, go ahead and make a history check for me.
8.
8. This is a relatively unexplored area, and despite the archives and cartographers, there's not a whole lot that you know about this area.
Then I guess we'll just... Let's see, there was the flatland, there was more hills, and there was behind us.
Yep.
I'm going towards the flatland.
Okay. Everybody else just following?
I don't have a choice.
I suppose that is true, as he's leading the horse that you're sitting on.
Is Pickle still bothering me to get on the horse?
I don't know.
You've given up.
No, that was kind of a one and done, seems like.
Just as a side note, I'm confused on why we're out here. Why aren't we still going after the lizards?
Because the lizards just were being bothered by the dragon, so we chased the dragon away. And that it didn't really solve the lizard problem, but we left and then got attacked by the Coliseum people, so we ran away. So
okay, so we're not through necessarily with saving the town, or are we just over that?
I don't think that town was worth saving.
I think we're too far away at this point.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
you got probably it'll take you a full day to get back there, like a full 12 to 16 hour trek to get back there.
So now we're just running away or trying to figure out these.
Now we're just leaving. Yeah, Pickles and Bree probably are very confused.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yeah, they just kind of ended up with this group who is just... They ran, and then they decided a direction to all go together. They took some horses, left a cart behind, and just kept heading south because it looked good.
And man, it does look good. Beautiful out here.
A rather fickle group, to be sure.
A rather fickle group, to be sure.
Well, the group that doesn't want to go back.
Mr. Jasper, where do you think we should go? You're kind of new like us. What's going on here?
I'm mostly just along for the ride at this point. I don't really have a particular goal in mind. Well, I do, but I just don't know where it is.
What goal is that?
Well, I need to protect my people, and I need the power to do that. However, where I find that, there are a lot of options.
Maybe we can help. I'm pretty powerful.
Oh, I have no doubt. But I think I'm looking for something a little more substantial than anything I've seen here. Even Everest was
Ouch.
kind of small fries compared to what I'm looking for. As far as I know.
Where are you from?
You guys probably haven't been there. I'm from deep underground. It's not somewhere that surfacers usually visit.
What are you protecting your people from?
The other things that live underground, of course.
Oh, like what?
Well, there are these douchebag dwarves that they keep attacking my people, and we've been able to fight them off, but I'm kind of sick of fighting, and so are my people.
After walking for half hour and a half, Melandris, you hit your nose. You can see fields for miles, but you were abruptly stopped by something that hit you smack in the face. What are you doing? What's anyone doing?
I'm laughing.
Magic Man. There's probably something magic here.
Well, how do you know?
Well, I guess I don't, but I'm going to call on you to make your second contribution to the trip.
I'll take a step. What you bumped into.
Sure, as you kind of stick your tiny little hands out from your tiny
Like
little
knee-high.
arms and you kind of walk up to where Melandris has started, and you that does the thing come help with the thing. And you hit something solid, and you kind of feel along it, and yeah, it's definitely solid. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Ooh. 21.
Okay. There is a magical effect here. You're not entirely sure what it is. But there's some sort of magical something or other.
Well, you aren't wrong. There's definitely something here.
Always knew I had a nose for magic.
I'm see what you did there.
I'm going to pick up a rock and just throw it as high up as I can, but angled towards where I bumped into it. Does it
Yeah,
go
no
over?
kidding.
That's up.
Is that what you're doing?
I might use that later, though. That's really funny. That's actually super funny. Yeah. So is anyone doing anything?
I threw a rock at it as
Yeah.
high up as I can.
Yeah, it hits the whatever this is very high above you, and then just kind of bounces down. You see that it has somewhat of a slope to it, but you know, for the most part, it's pretty vertical. Yeah. Anybody doing anything?
I want to investigate the ground. Is there any sign that something is in the ground or has disturbed the ground around it? Or does it just look exactly the same as all the other ground? There's not a little line. There's nothing.
Ooh, I want to knock on it.
You want to knock on it?
Yeah, like the spell, knock. A target that's held shut by a mundane lock or is stuck or barred becomes unlocked.
You cast a spell, and nothing happens. Melandris, what are you looking for?
Just if there's any indication that it's a physical thing. Like, is there a line in the ground? Is it disturbing any grass?
It doesn't seem to be disturbing any grass that you can tell. The grass immediately behind you, below you, and in front of you all seem to kind of follow the same swaying pattern back and forth as the wind is moving it. Everyone, you begin to hear a high above you. You all look up and you can't see anything, but there's a growing sound, a rumble almost, coming from high above you. Is anyone doing anything?
I'm going to look up.
Yeah.
With stealth.
So in order to stealth, you need to be able to hide somewhere. Where are you intending on hiding?
Under the horse.
Under Slider.
Isn't this like a grassland? Can I like duck underneath?
It is. I mean,
down?
the grass is not like waist high. It's like not quite even knee high.
Hmm.
You stand out pretty well, but
I was thinking it was taller grass.
if you would like to attempt to lay down and stealth in the grass, you are welcome to do so.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything?
Wait,
Yeah,
the horse is coming.
The horse.
I'm gonna hold on to the horse's mane a little tighter.
It's a 24.
Let's be safe.
Sorry, this is not working. What the heck? This is not working.
Got enough cheesecake bars over there, Evan?
For now.
Maybe it's open street.
Hasn't hit me yet.
It's surprising.
All right, this is a soundtrack I've not heard, so
It's a rave.
all this goes.
It's the Hunger Games.
Yeah, the grass is kind of raving.
It's raving mad.
Getting swifty.
Show me what you got.
Get swifty.
This might be. Well, this goes. Okay, so remind me, what is everybody doing?
I'd like to roll initiative.
I'm looking up.
I'm taking the horse and moving back and then looking up.
Okay.
I'm holding tighter to the mane of the horse.
Okay.
It's almost like direct.
And you,
Like
sorry, you rolled a what on stealth?
24.
24. Okay.
Directly or like off
Like
one direction or the other slightly?
like
or?
up to the front, up to either side, something like that.
Okay.
You do start to see a bit of smoke that's kind of emanating from over whatever this is. There's like a break in the sky where you see like dust clouds kind of begin to be kicked up.
Yeah, I'm going back up about 100 feet.
100 feet? Okay.
I will join him the extra 50 feet.
Okay. Suddenly, as you guys are looking up and hearing this sound, you see a line of boulders just kind of floating in the sky, just kind of appear out of nothing. Some of the boulders that you did see were a good 500 feet back from where your party had stopped. And the boulders begin to get pushed down, and they just roll and roll kind of in midair, but it's kicking up dust and rocks and gaining speed. Like it's definitely rolling down something. And you see more boulders just begin to pour over the sides like water. And as you look behind you, the boulders are beginning to pile up 350 or so feet behind you. There is a very definitive chasm, if you will, that these boulders have fallen into. And as you are all looking up, you see hooded figure, hooded figure, hooded figure, hooded figure, hooded figure, similar to the ones that were seen the night before, and similar to the ones that were your jailers in the Colosseum, just popping up a couple, like 150, 175 feet up in the air, just kind of looking down at you. Melandris, go ahead, and I'll let you do this too because of your high check. Both of you go ahead and make an investigation check.
Did I successfully stealth?
You stealth 24.
24?
Investigation?
Yep.
25.
25.
No, my investigation was 13.
I mean, a 25 stealth is successful for everything that doesn't roll a perception of 25 or higher. I mean, you are stealthed, but in a we are cornering you and trapping you situation, I don't know that stealth is successful, if you know what I mean.
I mean, can they see me?
You don't know. You feel pretty well hidden.
Okay.
But they are a good distance above you, and you can't see their eyes at where their attention is. And you're just kind of sprawled out in the grass.
Remember when you had mentioned those extra horses? This might be that pinch.
Melandris and Jasper, you realize that what is all around you is not actually there. And it begins to dissolve away. And what looked like fields and grass for miles and miles and miles, you realize is a carved out hill that has been flattened for a good distance behind you. And you are now in basically this crescent moon shaped cavern that has been hewn from this hill. And there are a dozen of these hooded figures above you. Everyone give me one thing that you're doing. As from all 12, black smoke begins to pour from their palms.
No!
I'm going to turn and transform into an elk.
Okay. So the entirety of this crescent that you're basically sitting in is roughly like a 200 radius circle. So it's enormous.
Well, we're halfway then.
Yeah, and it's kind of an elongated crescent. It's not perfectly round, but it's like probably, 350 feet across. And no, that's too big. It's like 350 feet across and probably 120 feet wide. The entirety of the behind of you is just being covered with these giant boulders that continue to be pushed over the side of the back there. Melandris turns into an elk. What was your question, Eliza?
I can raise a question.
Okay.
So we did choose poorly. I'm gonna put Jemima on my shoulder, like underneath my shirt, in hopes to conceal her a little bit more.
Okay. At this point, the black smoke is roughly knee-high.
I'd like to try to jump on the elk.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say I was gonna grab you, but okay. I'm gonna grab Spider. Can we both ride a horse? What does the horse become?
You can certainly try. Go ahead and make an athletics check to pull Spider up.
Athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a 15.
Okay. You both hit just what you needed together. And you grab him by the wrist and swing him up above you, and you both are on the horse. Being that this horse doesn't have a saddle or reins, it might be a little difficult to direct it, but you can certainly make an animal handling check to try to direct it in the direction you want to go, if you want to go in a particular direction.
I'm just running back the way we came.
Okay. You are basically sprinting straight for boulders that are just kind of crashing down onto the ground in front of you and on either side of you, as the whole of this area is being blocked off from its entrance, and black smoke is just pouring into the area. Go ahead and make 3 dexterity saves to see if you can dodge the incoming boulders.
9.
4?
And
9. Okay. What are you trying to do with...
follow. No.
Okay. Being that this horse was being directed by the elk before, or by this human before, it does kind of turn around and see another creature sprinting off in that direction, and does help you go in that direction.
We love Pickles, by the way.
Yeah, and me.
On a horse.
You're on a horse, though.
Bree is back on a horse that is quite a bit too large for her person. And Pickles, you are very well stealthed in the tall grass.
Probably covered in smoke at this
He
point.
is covered in smoke.
I don't know. I mean, I just figure that the smoke is good cover, so I'm staying where I am.
I'm with the elk.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Pickles, did you do anything in particular as the smoke began to pour into this area?
No, I mean, just hiding. Is it difficult to breathe, or is this smoke more?
Make a Constitution saving throw for me.
I'm gonna go back to them.
Okay. Make another animal handling check.
So 17.
Okay.
That's that one.
Okay. This horse has been told we're getting out of here,
Yeah.
and that's what the horse is doing. Your hit points drop in half, Pickles.
Okay. Jeez.
As you breathe in the smoke around you that is now completely obscuring your vision and has filled up to the level that is higher than your own person. You're also feeling quite a bit dazed and woozy. Bree,
Yeah.
you watch as this blue-haired elf whom you met within the last 36 hours or so try and like rear back with the horse. But as there's no saddle or rein, the horse kind of continues going. And you, your brother, and Jemima you can't even find your brother anymore as he is flat on the ground and the smoke is just pouring over the area. The smoke is
How high?
pretty much waist high for you at this point, Bree. So probably a good 1.5 feet, 2 feet high.
How kind of this man to lead me into this space and then just run away as an elk.
Yeah, that's
What
what.
a great person. What
They
a great
took the
person.
horses, all right.
I'm gonna jump up now that the smoke is hurting me.
I'm sure I can both carry them.
Okay,
That shouldn't be an issue.
sure.
I don't even know what's going on. I'm looking around like,
All right, Melandris, since you and Jasper are trying to dodge out of this thing as a whole, I would like the both of you to make, or I would like you to make 3 dexterity checks for me, please.
Already did it, boss.
Okay, and they were?
2 of them are single digits.
I chose 4.
The first one was 14.
So that's 3 failures.
Solid.
ouch.
Your elk form takes 15, 22,
All right, well, he didn't take the 15, I'll tell you that much.
37 total points of bludgeoning damage as these rocks come crashing down on you. You take half that, Jasper. You take 17. No, 18.
Not an elk anymore.
You take 18 points of bludgeoning damage as the elk is just beat senseless with these rocks, and you kind of fall and hit your head into another rock that's like rolling towards you, and the two of you just kind of sprawl out on the ground as his form shifts into that of a human, and his foot catches on the ground that's rushing past because of his previous form, and you both kind of tumble head over heels and just kind of smack into another rock, a little bit dazed and on your butts. Eliza, please make 2 athletics checks for me.
That's under dexterity, right?
Mm-hmm. No,
Sure.
that's strength.
Strength. Ooh, that's good. How many?
2. Doesn't count, whatever it is.
We have a crit and a 22. I rolled a 20 and a 19.
Excellent.
We are getting out of there.
You basically, kind of like that movie that shouldn't have been made, Aragon, when he jumps back up on Saphira's back and he's kind of crouching on her hips and like, you know, in 3-point stance.
Yeah.
You kind of jump up on the horse like that and you dive backwards and your body changes into that of this large Bengal tiger. And you kind of do the weird 6-point turn that cats do. And you just take off, bounding across the ground as fast as you possibly can. There are rocks like crashing down on either side of you. And there's a time that you jump up and kind of like use the rock to push yourself forward like Tai Lung in Kung Fu Panda. And you kind of skid to a stop right in front of Bree. Pickles, what have you done while this is going on?
I stand up. Is Bree close enough to walk to?
Yeah.
I just walk over to her and say, well, I think we need to work on finding better friends.
Because of your lack of sense of urgency, make another Constitution saving throw.
Jordan, would I know about this stuff because of my background? I should know something, right? In this world.
Make
Let's just get on the tiger and get out. Come on.
It's a 22.
I don't
make
know.
an Arcana check.
I don't know what you're saying, Michelle.
22.
Yep.
You are soldiering through at the moment. You kind of hold your breath and you still take your time to get to your sister for whatever reason. But you manage not to breathe in any more of the smoke as you head back to your sister. What was your Arcana check?
17.
17?
Mm-hmm.
It's necrotic in nature. But that's all you are picking up on it. You've never seen anything quite like this.
Have I read anything about this type of thing? Do I know about the
No, unfortunately not. Being that you have well, first off, you rolled a nat 1 for your history check on the Colosseum, so definitely not.
I suppose.
But I mean, you know that necrotic energy is bad, and if you're in it for too long, you can't help but breathe it in, and it will either kill you or knock you completely unconscious, depending on how potent it is.
Okay.
Yeah, and Pickles, just as you get to your sister, this large Bengal tiger just kind of skids along the ground and hockey stops right next to the two of you.
Wow.
I'm going to tell Pickles, get on.
I'm going to growl in agreement.
And I will also try and leap onto her back because
Get on.
I can imagine the horses.
I'm just kidding. It was just
More like
So much worse.
it was funny in my head.
Grr.
No, it was more like a
Great.
you kind of crane your shoulder, like get on.
I jump on, and as I jump on, and I cast Enhance Ability onto this giant tiger.
I'm also trying to jump on the tiger because I don't know that I can do anything with this horse.
Okay.
Leave the horse.
So
And I don't think the horse likes the tiger, I would assume.
Yeah, probably not. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, you're sitting up on a horse for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
I am.
Yeah.
Well,
tiger
hi.
tiger has an advantage on dexterity checks.
Ooh.
All
Just
right.
what he needs.
All right. As Bree hops off the horse, go ahead and make an acrobatics check to see how quickly and nimbly you can get from the horse to the tiger.
Okay, I rolled a natural 1, but I totally forgot about my lucky thing, so it doesn't matter.
True.
And I wish I had re-rolled that other time, which I did. And now I crit and have a +7, so 27.
Yeah, you take a moment to like diver T-pose, and then you just flip backwards several times and land in like this ballerina pose, one-legged, with your other, like the sole of your foot up against your knee. And you're like, oh, we don't have time for this. And you just sit down.
All while ensuring Jemima's just fine on my shoulder.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Babe, I'm going to need 5 athletics checks.
With a
Dexterity checks.
oh shoot, that's right.
You know what? Now that you say it that way,
Yeah.
I need 6 athletics. I'm just kidding. I need 2 athletics checks and 3 acrobatics checks. And by the way, for the enhance ability, if any of you have seen Hoodwinked, I'm kind of picturing the mountain scene when they're going on the mine cart and the goat singing, "An avalanche is coming in, I do not feel prepared." But Swift,
Okay.
Yeah.
I rolled a 10 and an unnatural 20
Okay.
for the athletics.
You have lost ground. Your tiger form, all of that jumping around and hockey stop has kind of burned your paws a little bit. There was some friction that you're not enjoying very much. And now you're carrying 2 people besides that you're trying not to lose.
It's really
You are definitely losing ground on your time frame to be able to get out.
Ooh, I rolled a 20.
Correct. Yep. So it was 1 fail and 1 pass.
2 or 3.
I need 3 acrobatics checks.
You said I have what for dexterity?
Advantage.
I rolled 2.
3.
It would be a 15.
Okay.
A 14. And a 21.
Okay. I rolled low. As one of the rocks comes careening down towards you, you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage. Pickles and Brie, that's halved to 2.
Can I try and I don't know if I can do anything.
Can you try?
I don't know, break it. I don't know, do something.
Sure.
Smack it with my fists.
Let's see. Go ahead and roll an
You have
attack.
deflect missile, don't you?
Yeah, does that count as a missile?
It does.
This is more like a nuke than a missile at that point.
No, it doesn't matter the size. It only states in deflect missile if it's small enough you can catch it. It never says it's too large.
And that's my point. This is not small enough to catch.
You don't have to catch the
No, but I think I have to.
Read it.
Oh no,
Last time you challenged me on my
This does
claws, I
not
was
count
right.
as a missile.
it feels like it. Okay, what am I doing? Just an attack?
Yep. Go ahead and roll an attack.
Do I add anything? My unarmed strike?
Nope. Just roll an attack. I mean, yeah. Roll your bonus to hit for an unarmed strike.
Right. 19.
19. Go ahead and roll damage.
9.
9. That is 1 more than you needed to shatter the rock, absorb all 8 points of damage that would have gone to the 4 of you.
Yes.
All of you take no damage.
Cool.
Oh.
I do need you to make an acrobatics check, though, to see if you can stay on the tiger.
19.
Yeah, easy enough to do.
When you are hit by a ranged weapon attack,
This is not a weapon.
that's stupid.
This is a boulder.
Boulders can be weapons,
Acted as a weapon.
and you're throwing it. Ranged.
Ranged attack. The goal is to inflict damage.
That's okay. I broke it apart with my fists. My small, tiny fists. It was probably a 2-fisted punch.
For the record, if any other class other than a monk asked to be able to do that, it was probably going to be denied. Just FYI.
If you reduce the damage to 0.
Yay for being a monk.
I know my monk spell.
That's, I guess. All right, we'll explore the interpretation of that later. But I'm intrigued.
Creative.
I'm
on how I
intrigued.
use my key points so to my benefit.
Back to Jasper and Melandris. What the heck are the two of you doing as you have tumbled head over heels and smacked into one of the already in place rocks?
How high up are the rocks?
You what?
How high up are the rocks?
I mean, these boulders are like 10 feet high. The majority of them. There are a few that are like 7 feet high and a few that are 4 feet high. The large majority of them are like 10 feet in diameter.
Would keep the
As long as Pickles holds concentration, up to how long, Pickles?
I'll let you know in a second.
All right.
I'm going to put the unicorn spirit
An hour.
right next
Whoa.
You're putting the unicorn spirit where?
right next to me.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself at 2nd level.
Okay.
1 hour.
Jasper?
I'm
Unbelievably bad.
there's still a path like around through the
Kind of, but it's like
You get healed for 5, Jasper.
field at this point.
In that case, I'm getting up, casting Expeditious Retreat on myself, and double dashing through the boulder field.
You jerk!
Okay.
Is it better that we're all captured in this?
Okay.
You can blow a path for us.
Fireball.
I can try.
Well, clearly, you don't want to try to do that.
Hey, I know how it feels to be left alone.
Eliza,
Thank
I need
you.
to make a Constitution saving throw.
My constitution?
Yep.
Or
And Jasper, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as well.
my constitution?
Tiger's Constitution.
Also,
14. Your health is halved.
Yeah.
Combine your health with the tiger's health
Okay.
and cut it in half.
oh god.
Oh no. I can't heal you. I can only punch you.
Wouldn't recommend it at this moment.
I didn't really plan it.
Eliza's form shifts back into that of an elf. I need the two of you to make acrobatics checks for me, please.
Great.
24.
Okay. Both of you land on your feet, but you are just about to be engulfed in this rising smoke.
I would rather land on her shoulders.
I start hopping.
Well, she is prone on the ground for the moment that it takes to stand back up. So landing on her shoulders, she probably wouldn't appreciate.
Yeah, no, never mind.
What are the three of you doing?
Turn.
At this point, your tiger form, your nose as you're running is like bobbing in and out of the smoke.
She's not in tiger for me.
I'm letting her know how high the smoke is.
But we're going up, aren't we?
Mm-mm.
Is Jasper
It is flat here.
Still?
They have basically excavated a part of this hill, and it was more like a plateau than it was just very, very steep on one side. And
So how much farther do I have to go to start getting out? I had a very, very bad sense of what this was.
so you guys are in.
Can you? Yeah, you really should have drawn this out.
Think of it like a 300-foot tunnel, okay, with a couple 100 feet high walls, and it's like 150 feet wide.
Is
Okay.
Jasper already out?
It's too late now. How far do I have to go till I get out?
You are probably 2/3 of the way out.
Oh my gosh.
And how far are they? Farther?
You have basically reached them at this point, and then Jasper just kind of takes off. I do need acrobatics checks with advantage for that.
I'm gonna turn back into a tiger. Where's the slider and the horn?
Good question.
Mike is not here, so Slider has been out of my mind. That is a
How
very
many?
interesting point. Say that again?
How many?
2.
This is not enjoyable, Jordan.
Okay, first one's a 12, second one's a 19.
Okay. Ooh, you take 20 points of damage. bludgeoning damage. Go ahead and make a Constitution
I mean,
saving throw.
I'm out.
Oh, you're out.
Yeah.
I mean, you did like 30 points of damage to me right away.
No, I did 18. It was halved
Yeah.
to you.
Well, yeah, but I'm also
Wizard.
That's true.
plus then half what was
Really
left.
high
Plus
hit
then
points.
Were both of these with advantage?
yes.
Yeah, you have fallen unconscious as one of the falling rocks clobbers against you on your way out. I need to make a few checks for Slider. He passed his first one, failed his second, failed his third. 14. Ooh. Okay. Whoa. I just realized. Pickles, how do you have 55 health?
I don't know. I'm just kind of rolling with it.
Yeah, that's not going to be a thing. You have more health than the fighter.
I would definitely roll
Than
with
the
that.
fighter.
Oh,
Let me look at this. Your con is +3, so that'd be 15 from that. And then you took max for everything else. Uh-huh.
Well,
We'll deal with that later.
I didn't do that on purpose, honest.
No, I believe you. I'm just
can
kidding.
that be a new rule? Can we just do that?
19. 14 is
I can re-roll for that, definitely.
Yeah, we'll take care of that later. No big deal for now. Okay. You are unconscious. What is Melandris and the three of you doing is you are all basically around one another right now. Slider is still doing his utmost to get out. He's got 2 more checks. That's 1 pass, 1 fail.
How far away did Jasper get?
Slider is also unconscious.
Well, that's dandy.
Would I be able to cast shield to block that?
Is it bludgeoning damage? Does it block bludgeoning?
This wasn't a
It's not an
no.
attack. but-
No, and the reason why is because, like, if a dragon's breath happens, it doesn't add to your dexterity check to get out of the way. So you would, if all you did was cast shield, the fire would still hit you, because it's a saving throw, not a to hit against an AC. Does that make sense?
I guess, yeah. I mean, like the shield going up, it blocks. Like if an arrow is fired at you, that doesn't mean that you cast shield and then it just like doesn't hit you. Like it deflects off of the shield.
Correct. And this is interesting with how I set this up. I didn't even think about that. Go ahead and make an Arcana check. Yeah, make
The spell.
roll a die and basically add your spellcasting modifier.
Okay, 18.
18? Okay. How much damage did you take from the extra hit? 20, right?
Yes.
20? Okay, I will reduce that to... And you rolled a what, a 19?
18.
18? Okay. I'll reduce it to 11.
Okay.
Are you still up?
I am up with 1.
Which spell is this?
Shield.
I do need one more acrobatics check to try and get out. And the DC has gone up because of the time frame.
Is that different than just the +5 bonus to AC?
I'm modifying it a bit for the purposes of the skill check.
Yeah, that's. Do I get advantage on this one?
Make a concentration check first. So keep that first roll, whatever it was, but make your concentration check.
Natural 20.
Yes, you keep concentration.
Sweet. 18.
18? Okay. You do manage to get out just barely. Melandris, Bree, Pickles, and Eliza.
Slider's down.
Slider is down. Slider has
Slider.
toppled by basically the entrance of this area.
He's really close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's probably 15, 20 feet from the exit. As the rocks are piling in quickly. This is about the time that he fell and about the time that you almost fell, threw up a shield, saved it by the skin of your teeth, and then...
It landed on my leg instead of my head.
I'm going to cast Warding Wind.
Okay.
So there's a 10-foot radius of 20-mile-per-hour wind around me. And
Okay.
I'm hoping that it's going to be blowing away the fog from me.
It does.
Blowing directly away from me.
Not bad.
It does blow the smoke away from you guys in all directions.
It is difficult terrain for all of you now, though.
Great.
And then I'm also going to hold on, what's the rules for wild shaping and having a concentration spell going? What happens then? Does it stop?
It does.
Cast them, but doesn't it keep going? It doesn't break your concentration. Transforming does not break your concentration on a spell you've already cast or prevent you from taking actions that are part of a spell that you've already cast.
Interesting.
So I can keep that going.
Wow.
Thanks.
And what am I gonna do? Yikes! I have a thought.
Well, express your thought. Maybe I can help you proceed through.
Well,
Because you're gonna have to take one, and I'm gonna have to take one.
Step of the wind.
well, yeah, that's the thing. My plan involves not taking anybody, just me.
I will step of the wind and dash my way out of there. Jordan.
I need
I'm going.
I need 2 acrobatics checks, Bree.
Guess, yeah, we could just one, couldn't we?
17 and 18 plus 7, 25.
I need a Constitution saving throw, Bree.
Okay. 12.
12. What is your max health?
38.
What is your health at?
38.
Okay. You drop to 19,
Okay.
but you have made it out of the tumbling rocks.
Beautiful.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Yes. Yep, because you passed both
Okay.
checks. You said a 17 and or an 18 and a 25?
17 and a 25.
Okay.
While they're doing that, I'd like to run like 30 feet away from the rocks.
Okay.
And then turn around and cast Fireball.
Where?
Kind of back at the crevasse I came through, unless I see Bree coming through at that time.
Please see me coming through.
Fire
Rude.
or
Fireball.
Fireball.
Yes. To try to blast away some of the rock to make it a little easier to.
So I hadn't
I don't
quite
know if it would do a whole lot, but I'm gonna try.
I hadn't quite gotten to this part yet. We'll come back to that.
Jordan,
Yes, Bree.
do I need to spend more than 1 key point for Step of the Wind to get out of there?
I would say yes.
Because I run, dash, bonus action, dash.
Yep.
How far is the distance?
So Expeditious Retreat doubles your movement speed, right?
So Expeditious Retreat allows me to dash as a bonus action.
Okay. Yeah. So it's basically
Step of the Wind. Yeah.
okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So yes, you would need to spend a key point for both dash actions, or for both acrobatics checks.
How far is the distance?
You would have to make a third acrobatics check if you wanted to try and get out without spending another key point.
My jump distance is doubled. Does that make a difference?
No, it does not.
I will acrobatics one more time.
Okay.
Oh dear. 10.
10. That is 12 points of bludgeoning damage,
Owie.
and I need another acrobatics check.
Any way I can hit any of those rocks with my fists?
Unfortunately, not.
Feet? Can I kick him?
You are
I
using
crit
your
on that one,
energy
so it
to
doesn't matter.
get out. You crit on this last one?
Yeah.
Okay. You are using your energy to get out, whereas before, someone else was using their energy to get you out.
Okay.
Pickles, what are you doing? Eliza, what are you doing?
Am I still in the area with all the boulders?
Yeah, and there's now a 20-mile-an-hour wind buffeting you.
But I'm safe
there's
from the
no
smoke.
gas.
Say that again?
I'm safe from the smoke.
As long as you're being buffeted by this wind is what it
There's
is.
a buffeting the rocks.
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's only 20 miles an hour.
How far am I from Mel?
Maybe the rocks are howling.
Paper mache. How far are you from Elandris? Within 20 feet if you want to be away from the smoke.
Yeah, I'm gonna go walk over or run over to him.
Okay.
And I'm going to enhance his ability now with
Michelle.
and he gets advantage on wisdom checks.
Okay.
I changed my hit points. I re-rolled them, so now it's 42.
Hey, we're the same.
What did you roll
Wow,
exactly?
that's really high.
I rolled 8. Well, I rolled my D8 and then added the con modifier for each one.
How many
after-
times did you roll your D8?
4 times, because the first time is 8 plus 3 anyways.
Perfect. All right, just want to make sure you didn't forget about that first one being max. You re-rolled ones?
Yeah.
If you rolled one? Okay. So I believe enhance ability disappears on you.
I'm just gonna try and dash out of there.
Okay. In your human form?
Yeah, for right now.
Okay. Then I'm going to need 4 acrobatics checks. Are you hanging out by Mel?
Yeah.
Okay. This is considered difficult terrain. So if you're by Mel,
Well,
This is interesting.
Then I'm just gonna go with it.
nope. So here's how this would work, because this would make sense like that. Ooh, Tim, are you gone?
Yeah, he froze, or his computer shut off.
Nice.
Windows update.
Kira, would you send him a message to just text when he's ready to pull back in? Yeah, go ahead and make just 4 acrobatics checks.
Okay, I have an 8.
Okay.
An 18.
Okay.
A 10 and a 17.
Okay.
I'm assuming half chaos, half fail.
So that's 11, 14, so 25 points of bludgeoning damage.
You rolled really high on
Yes, I did.
that one.
Am I out?
Did that reduce you too?
No. Not even close.
I need another acrobatics check.
Oh, because it didn't reduce me all the way.
No, you need 4 successes to get out.
Oh.
And if you fail too many times, you fall
Okay.
unconscious because you've
15.
been beat senseless.
Get the dead.
That's another 11 points of bludgeoning damage. But you do make your way a little bit closer. As you were beat 3 times, you are kind of making your way out. So
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds as a 3rd level.
So when you guys stop to cast spells, you're not dashing as fast. You realize that, yes?
Yes.
So the
but
D's-
it's better than us dying.
Oh, sure. Okay.
I need maybe 3d8.
Did Evan's fireball do anything?
He hasn't done it yet.
We are not certain at this point.
You're still waiting.
There is a black cloaked and hooded humanoid at the entrance, a good 30 feet away, when you emerge. So I don't know if you would turn your back to them
Oh, in
and
that
cast
case,
Fireball. Savvy?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's 13 points.
It'll probably go the other direction.
That's what I assumed.
Fireball!
Okay, now I'm going to keep going.
Okay. Go ahead and make another acrobatics check.
12.
Okay. That's 12 points of damage. And I need one more acrobatics check.
No, 12.
Okay. You have made it out, but you take another 17 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm done.
Okay. So, Bree, as you emerge, you hear a thud and a cry, and you look behind you, and Eliza is prone on the ground, laying just outside of the perimeter that the stones have created, unconscious on the ground. We will get back to that in a moment. You also see Jasper
Slider's also with me.
staring down a Slider has fallen on the inside.
Oh crap!
He got knocked it out.
Yeah, I mean he's like 15 feet from the entrance, but he's in there. Melandris, what are you doing?
Who's with me? Pickles and Bree?
Just
Gone.
Oh, just Pickles?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna look at him and go, "Good luck, mate." I'm gonna turn to a spider.
That
turn
sounds
to
like a
spider.
bad idea. Oh wait, you've got your wind.
I have the wind to pull all of the fog away.
A windy spider.
Interesting.
I'm an extremely windy spider, and I want to crawl through, I presume, an ability that there's going to be a crack somewhere.
So these rocks are falling and rolling.
Yeah, but I'm like close to him. I would run right up to it and then turn into a spider.
I mean, there are continuous rocks falling. It's like a continuous rock slide. So here's what we are going to do. I need
right next to it, and these are really big rocks. They're not really going to be hitting right next to the rocks, depending on how they're dropping. But
okay. All right.
Oh, I should have taken that right.
Yep. I'm going to need
do spiders have stats?
6.
They do have stats.
I'm going to need 6 acrobatics checks, and I will give you advantage.
Wow, they have 2 decks.
Right?
What was it? Acrobatics?
Acrobatics checks.
Tim's ready.
Yep.
That's a 14. That's a 20-something.
Your first one with advantage was a 14. Hold on.
Yeah.
Your first one with advantage was a 14.
Yeah.
You take 20 points of bludgeoning damage.
No longer a spider.
Definitely not a spider anymore with
And
their
I need you
one
to make
health.
a concentration check to hang on to your spell.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I can't get out of there anymore anyway.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I mean, I can't shift anymore. And I have less dex than the spider. So Mel's basically going to give up.
Oh. Okay.
I rolled a 14 for the concentration, but he's not really going to do anything else. Because I have no more wild shape and had to roll 6 saves for a spider to crawl through a rock.
Okay.
You never know.
Excuse me. Pickles, you watch as this is great because he wasn't here for this. You watch as the human that you ran up to and just enhanced his ability says, "Good luck, mate," and he shrinks down into a spider and then just gets clobbered by one of these giant boulders, and his form shifts back into that of a human. And as the rock rolls off of him, he like stands up and goes, "Well, I give up."
Walks.
And he just kind of lets go of his wind spell. What are you doing?
Can't, oh my gosh.
Good day, mate. And I just try to run away from the smoke.
All right, I'm going to need 4 acrobatics checks. Give me 1.
Also, you only need 4.
Because he has a movement of 25, not 20.
But I ran right up to the rocks.
I mean,
They're piling up,
right?
right?
Which rocks?
They're piling up, right? They're blocking the
They are simultaneously being pushed over the outside of the edge.
Yeah, but there's an entrance that people are running through, right? But they had to climb over the rocks.
That's correct. And you guys are a very long distance from that. So if you were running there as Mel, maybe this would have gone differently. I was
like 20 feet from those. I ran up to it and then turned into a spider. That was what I did.
Oh, I still needed...
I was right underneath where the rock pile was.
I still needed 4 acrobatics checks before you were at that point.
Before even getting to it? And
Yep.
he only needs 4 to get all the way through? Double his.
Because he's already at you.
Yeah, I was like 20 feet away. How'd he already get up to me? He was within my wind.
When did I say you were 20 feet away from the edge?
When I ran up with the elk. And everybody else ran from there too. I needed 6, and everybody else needed less than that to get all the way through, and I needed 4 to get up to it. I'm just saying,
That's
double his.
maybe.
Make him do 8.
Then,
Way more stuff.
then maybe I got
Because they started in the exact same spot.
correct. And they took off, and they tumbled and slammed against rocks while you beasted your athletics
What I'm
checks
saying
to run
is,
back
how many checks
and then
did
run
Jasper
at them.
do?
2, because his movement was doubled
So that should be only 4 then.
for everyone else. But a spider only has 20 movement. So if everyone is going from the same position, people who have 30 feet or 25, maybe I should have made them do 5. But I didn't think about medium, small. People who had 30 feet or 25 feet, I made them do 4. Unless their speed was doubled, I made them do 2. Spiders have 20 feet of movement, therefore it would have been 6. But he failed his first one, turning him into a human. And then if he went at his human rate, it would
But
have
how
been
is speed the issue here if you have to climb and dodge rocks too?
The acrobatics checks are a check every so often to get out. And depending on how fast you're moving, determines how many times you need to try and dodge rocks on your way out. Maybe this is a poorly put
Double
together
his.
Connor.
Make him do 8.
It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter.
I
got an
refuse. Make him do 8. Roll all 8 of them.
8, 11, 10, and 22 is my first 4.
You take like 30.
You said 22 and what?
8, 11, 10, and then 22.
Tim, were any of those natural ones?
No, unfortunately not.
33 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, so I'm like that spider.
And I still need 2 more successes. All right. It is possible you were farther along than I thought, Mel. So with the spider, you would have had, let's call it 3.
Well, I would have, if you wanted me to roll like 2 to run up to it, or however many to run up to it as Mel, I'll take that damage. But I was going to run up to the wall where they were piling up, turn to a spider where stuff is already basically on the ground, and just crawl underneath it all.
That was my misunderstanding as to where you thought you were. If you would like to run up as Mel, I will definitely let you do that. And
Then
you
I would
have-
have failed 1. And then
you
the next
have
one.
advantage on this to dodge the rocks because you have 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing all around you.
Oh, I still would have failed the first one because that was advantage, but the second one I rolled a 19 with a 21.
Okay. Then you took your 14 con save that you needed to maintain your spell.
Yeah, it would have been the wisdom as well, so it would have been 18.
Correct. Well, yeah, and you needed the 10 because you took 20 points of bludgeoning damage.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just say this is all straight from your human form. I still need 3 more successes.
After as the spider now?
Not yet as the spider. So you are still running up as a human. So you rolled. Sorry, you failed 1, and then what were your next couple rolls for the acrobatics checks?
I think I rolled one more after that. That was a 17.
Okay,
So
that was
Make him roll 8. Make him roll 8 for being a pain.
No, if I'm misunderstanding something, I will go and correct it.
I got a 16 with +2 for an 18.
Okay.
A 19 and an 18. And then what was there? One more? I think so.
You said there was a 16 in there?
+2. 16 +2. So an 18 and a 19 and 15.
15?
Yeah.
Okay. That one unfortunately fails. You take 15 points of bludgeoning damage.
Now I'm unconscious.
You
just fall right on top of Slider.
I was gonna forget about Slider.
He kind of tripped over Slider and then got hit with another rock. Pickles, your turn.
I'm unconscious or dead. Do you want me to do death saving rolls?
No, I cannot.
There's also no more gas for
and
the block for you.
Jasper. The two of you are staring down one of these hooded figures. He looks like he's in a ready stance, but he hasn't said anything or moved yet. Or she. Hard to tell.
I'm sorry, who's the two?
Bree and Jasper.
I didn't get that far out, did I?
Yes, you did.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
I only talked about... I thought he went for 30 feet further.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're not standing next to him, but you basically emerged from the rocks as Jasper's already ahead of you, kind of in this stare-off with this other humanoid.
Okay, and Eliza's at my feet, unconscious.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is anybody doing anything?
Maybe you should cast that fireball now.
Please do.
I mean, I don't know anything about these people, so I guess I'm gonna go fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Phantasmal Force.
All right.
Die again.
As soon as you move aggressively, I need you to roll initiative.
Okay.
I'll go tomorrow.
I got an 18, so I'm gonna go today.
Probably too far away to actually reach him.
No, I mean I have 35 speed, so if it's only like 30, 35 feet away, it's fine. Right?
All right. Huh. Bree,
Yeah.
You said you had a what?
18.
18? Okay. And you had a what?
3.
3? Alrighty.
Exactly 3.
You had a 4.
Oh, that would have been
So close.
Oh, come on.
Get the lead out.
Anything other than a natural 1.
Okay. Bree,
Okay, how far away is he?
from you,
Yeah.
He's probably 50 feet.
Oh gosh, darn it, Jordan. Ugh. Okay, fine. I'm going to spend 2 key points and cast darkness.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can do from this far away.
All right.
On
him. Oh.
on
Okay.
him. It's gonna be on him.
Just a heads up, if you manage to get one of the healers up, we could actually heal ourselves.
I don't think they have anything to help with that. I can medicine check you, but it's only gonna stabilize you.
By the
And
way, Bree and Jasper, make a perception check.
I don't think Jordan and I have talked about if I have any healing potions that I brought with me.
Yeah.
I got a natural 1, so I'm just gonna re-roll that.
Like you do.
An 8.
An 8.
So
All
great.
right. Well, I rolled a 4.
Hey.
So, and let's add a whole bunch of 2 to that, so you both notice. Around the neck of this individual, and this would mean absolutely nothing to either of you.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Okay.
Around the neck of this individual, you see a pendant of sorts. This pendant, however, is a cube the size of a full-grown human's fist. This cube is like a purplish pinkish in color, and it's just hanging from around this leather strap around his neck with one of those, golden necklace hooks attaching it to the necklace. His movements seem to be linked to whatever this is. Knowing that, and I should have had you do that before you took your turn, Bree, would you still cast darkness?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it means nothing to me, then
Sure. So, then I need to do this real quick.
But he's not attacking them.
He looks
Or not making a lethal attack.
not yet.
He hasn't yet, and as soon as they looked aggressive, he began to look aggressive.
His eyebrows were furrowed.
But he was not fast enough. So
He was ready to fight.
It makes
Here
sense
is-
that the monk would go first.
here is the edge of this cliff.
Those are some cool looking boulders.
Thanks, Bree.
They're so round.
Really hard figuring out how to learn to draw boulders this week.
Good work. You did it.
Nice job.
They're great.
They're
Here,
magically delicious, as Jasper might say.
Pickles is way back here.
So many bodies just scattered.
These are 10-foot squares. Where are you centering the darkness, and what is its radius? Three.
I'm looking. Hold on. 15-foot radius sphere. And honestly, I just put it on top of him. Because he's far enough away. He's 60 feet.
Yes. He's 50 feet away. All right.
And how far away is he from Jasper?
20 feet.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to put it just so Jasper's not in it.
Okay, sure. So we could pause here and continue next time, or we could finish this.
I have a feeling it's not going to take very long to finish this.
Finish him. Hey, don't doubt our skills.
You're right. We're just gonna get captured like we do every other single time.
Remember when they had cast lightning bolt at you? How that went last time?
I don't remember that. I have no memory of such thing. I
also-
have no idea what you're talking about. Who is this that you're talking about?
It is his turn.
What am I supposed to do?
Or how about riding on an elk trying to get through the prison walls? Like, which time are we talking?
Maybe if Jemima can come up and tell me that all of these things happened, then I'll have
But
knowledge.
Jemima doesn't remember those either, though.
Okay, but you guys didn't tell us, so I have no idea what you've been through.
What is the man doing?
I haven't necessarily had time to talk about it either. You've literally been running from something this entire time since we met you two.
Yeah, you should probably have warned us what you were running from so we could help you.
It was unimportant.
Unimportant? Death is unimportant?
Yeah.
Being recaptured is unimportant?
Crocodiles.
All right.
Jasper, you watch as magical darkness just kind of begins to emit from this point centered on this entity. And it just kind of spreads out and stops right in front of you. A moment later, this magical darkness just begins to kind of suck into itself and gets pulled back into this entity. And kind of the way a drain, the water kind of spins around in a circle, you watch as this magical darkness begins to spin around in this small vortex as it's sucked into this cube around this entity's neck. That is the end of its turn. It's now your turn. But the magical darkness has dissipated.
Jordan, did I have any movement after that? Because I would have gotten closer.
Yes, you would have if you would have liked to move it.
Yeah.
You have your full movement. So where would you like to go?
I'm heading straight towards him.
Okay. So your full movement is what, 35?
35, yeah.
So 10, 20, 30 would get you the edge of the magical darkness.
Huh.
Did you want to move anywhere else?
Nope, that's good.
Okay. And he basically sucks this darkness back into his pendant.
I'll
Jeff?
glare at him.
I'm gonna run 25 feet this way.
Okay. 5. Okay.
And then I'm gonna cast a fireball right there.
Okay. What's your spell save DC? Like a
16.
16? Huh. That is a 15.
Woo!
Yes.
$30 points of damage.
Yikes.
Yikes, he says. And then bonus action, I'm running another 25 feet.
Okay. 3. How long does Expeditious Retreat last for?
1 minute.
Okay, this would
10
probably...
minutes. 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Then you have it for the remainder of this, probably. 3?
I am gonna run up to him and I'm gonna smack him.
Give him the booping damage.
I'm gonna give him the booping damage.
He's all hot. I give him the boop.
Gonna attack twice. Ow. Okay.
I believe in us.
9 and 15.
Okay. The 15 hits.
5 points of damage.
All right.
I'm gonna spend a key point and do patient defense.
All right. Attacks are at disadvantage against you.
Is that what the dodge action does?
Yes.
Oh.
Magic missile, 2nd level.
Shield.
Well, magic missile just hits. Oh, that's right. Shield deflects a magic missile, I believe.
Yes, it does.
Cool.
So I take 0 damage.
Yay.
Yeah. Well done.
Woo!
Going so well.
Feels good.
I'm gonna die soon. I can feel it.
Yeah, and you take no damage from magic missile. All right. Jasper.
Not too bad. Okay. I'm just gonna go, well, that's not a bad idea. And cast magic missile.
All right.
Does it hit?
Hmm.
Or
Yes, it does.
okay. Ten points of force damage.
All right. He takes 10 points of force damage.
And I would like to run another 25 feet away.
All right.
But
10,
just the
20,
125.
5. All right.
So I'm now like 75-ish.
75-ish feet, yeah.
Perfect.
Bree, he is going to reach out and attack you with a shocking grasp.
Is it his turn?
Oh, no, it is not. It's your turn.
I didn't think so.
Nope, you're right.
All right.
Go for it. He's not
How
going to
rude.
He's going to wait his turn is what he's going to do.
Yeah, he better wait his turn because I'm gonna smack him again.
All right. Go ahead and roll an attack.
A little better. 13 and 23.
Both hit.
It's a squishy boy.
He's got a decent amount of health, though.
Yeah,
12 points of damage.
12 points. All right.
I'm gonna spend a key point and do flurry of blows.
Okay.
Smack him 2 more times.
All right.
Ugh, crap. 11 and 12.
The 12 hits.
Hey!
Okay. Did not expect any of those. Another 6 points of damage.
All right.
And then
Damn it!
I'm gonna use my bonus action to hit him one more time.
Okay. Spending a key point.
Oh, wait,
to
never
create
mind.
those is your bonus action.
That is my bonus action. You're right. Never mind. I lied.
Nice strike.
I
don't know.
You could stunning strike.
No, because you have to expend a bonus action to do it.
Well, but Wes doesn't matter.
Yeah, he might.
Wes knows very well about them.
For flare of blow.
Are you doing anything else, Bree?
I think that's it.
Now he's going to reach out with a shocking grasp.
Of course.
Kira, do you have uncanny dodge?
No. I don't
That
think
is
so.
a. All right. That misses.
We're gonna do this!
We're gonna kill one, but there's still 12 of them hanging out in this
Don't worry about it.
stupid tunnel.
Your turn, Jasper.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I'm gonna.
Jordan, what was it to hit? Would it have hit my old armor class?
No.
Oh, good.
No, it was a 13 to hit.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna use Firebolt.
What's the range on Firebolt? I figured you knew. I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah. 12.
12.
Yes! Oh my god.
That is. Ooh. Ooh, 15 points of damage.
All right.
Not bad for a cantrip.
Not bad at all.
Why won't he die?
See, I'm 75 feet away right now. I'm gonna make it 100.
Okay.
I can still hit him from here.
Barely see him, but
And
I got him.
I just get hit from where I am, so.
Bree, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep smacking him. Gonna punch him and kick him with all my might.
I have one spell slot.
My Jordan,
Yes.
if I do stunning strike, do I have to spend a key point even if I don't hit him? How does that work? Is it only that I spend a key point to do stunning strike if I hit?
After you hit him, you can spend a key point to attempt to stun him.
Okay, I get it. Okay, so I'm gonna attack this first time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 17, so that hits.
Mm-hmm.
So stunning strike, spend a key point. And I still get to do damage with that hit too, right? Or no?
Yes. Yep. You do damage.
Okay, he needs to make a con save. And he takes 7 points of damage. No. Yes, 7.
He takes tons of damage.
Ah, the damage!
All of it. 7 points of damage. All of the day.
All right. Let me take a look at this.
No, don't take a look at anything. Just roll the con save and fail it. So that I can stun him. Roll low.
That is a 15.
Oh no! No! He needed to be
What's your DC?
14!
Ah.
Okay. I'm just gonna hit him again.
All right.
21.
That hits.
Another 6 points of damage.
Okay.
I'm out of key points, so I guess I'm gonna do an unarmed strike and hit him again.
Okay.
More damage.
18 plus 7, 25.
Don't worry, boys.
25 hits.
Another 7 points of damage.
All right.
He's a beefy boy, I tell you what.
He looks pretty pummeled and beat to crap.
Oh, really? Finally?
Yep.
Okay, I think that's all I can do.
He is going to
No.
turn around to the other side of you, Bree,
Okay.
and he is going to let out his hand and release a lightning bolt. What's your distance?
I'm 100 feet.
It hits. I need dexterity saving throws from both of you.
I'm unconscious. Unless you want to let me use Misty stuff to get out of the way as a bonus action.
It would be a reaction. A reaction and a bonus action.
3,
12.
12. Unfortunately, that fails.
I'm gonna die again. I can't wait to make another new character for this stupid campaign.
They were so close.
I know. I tried so hard. Don't kill me again, Jordan. Don't do it.
I knew I should have used my bonus action to run too. Frickin' A.
You both take. What was your save?
It doesn't matter. I have no health.
Okay.
I've had no health this whole time.
Well,
Gosh.
Does he do 50 damage?
43 damage.
oh, gotcha. Okay.
So
Yeah. We'll just say that you both failed it then.
Okay.
And you take 24 points of lightning damage.
Now, how much is it for me to totally die?
I'm sorry?
How much is it before I just straight up die?
To kill you, it has to reduce you to 0 and then equal your health negatively.
Oh, okay.
So you would have to take 45 points of damage to kill you.
The issue was you took like 130 points of damage. But
I'm
And
just
max,
unconscious.
max damage is 48.
Okay.
So you're both unconscious.
Yeah, I feel very upset about this. In
No,
my
no,
conscious-
you're not in the line for sure.
Okay.
Jeez.
dang it, if I had run a little further away.
you got around that corner. There only would have been a whole bunch of other people pouring the smoke in.
Yeah, right. We were close.
A lot of damage.
So this was set up to be a very, very difficult encounter,
This feels a little.
intentionally.
You don't say.
And depending on the outcome, different things would have happened.
This outcome, you're all dead now.
Yeah, and we all get to roll new characters.
Yay!
The campaign continues.
He had 8 health left.
Oh,
You guys reduced him from 99 to 8.
Ah!
Granted, he was an 18th level spellcaster,
Oh my gosh.
according to his stat block, but I was not going to let him cast anything above a 3rd level.
Oh, thanks.
Nor was I going to give him full spell slots for 3rd level spells. As Melandris, as you are approaching the end of
My life.
this opening, a large boulder smacks into your upper back and you tumble over and there's nothing. Pickles, feeling woozy and exhausted from the toll that this necrotic gas has already taken on your body, you kind of stumble your way out, trying to keep up with Melandris, but you are clobbered left and right with falling boulders. Eliza and Slider, you got incredibly close, as Melandris did, to getting out. But unfortunately, the consistent barrage of these falling rocks barred your path and reduced you to unconsciousness. Bree and Jasper, as the
And wild shapes.
exhausted and beat to within an inch of his life wizard casts one last desperate spell at the two of you. The lightning arcs between your bodies, and there is a moment of bright white light before nothing. There is a lurching sensation that all of you feel. You are spinning end over end, sideways, corkscrewing, tumbling. You seem to smack a surface of some kind that is elastic and pliable. And it kind of bends with the impact of your body and then snaps back in the other direction. And you corkscrew, tumble, flip, and spin in the opposite direction. Finally, you're falling through the vastness of darkness and space before you come rocketing back down to a somewhat comfortable surface, and you slam back down into the earth. It's morning. You're outside. You're laying on the grass or on a cot in the grass. And you sit up. And all of you look at one another and you feel yourself for injuries, wounds, electricity. And you notice that you're all alive and you're all back within a grove of trees, a short distance from a beaten down path and an open field that gives way to rolling hills. But you're awake, you're alive, and all of you had the most vivid, realistic shared dream that any of you have ever had. And that's where we will close the session.
I thought we were done with this. We can't die. We're immortal. Someone blow up an inn again.
I think I got some matches.
Are immortal, at least.
If we all die, we're immortal.
So when one of us goes down, we just gotta commit.
Just go for it. Drink the Kool-Aid. Drink it.
Gosh.
That is the end of the third online session.